mental health? Well, first off, we have a lot of friends on board here, but we also have the internet, so we can maintain contact with our friends and family, and we get care packages when new delivery dates come up. Over.
And something about the fire. That's something I really don't have any experience with, and that's why I wish. Well, I mean, Jeremy.
Kilo, Oscar, 6 Oscar Alpha Kilo. Let's move to channel 13, backup over.
Got about it.
Kilo, 6 Oscar Alpha Kilo. This is anyone ISS, radio check, over.
NA1 SS, this is Kilo 6 Alpha, Oscar Alpha Kilo. Do you copy? Over.
Loud and clear, much better, and I'm ready to resume with question 2. Over.
What is an interesting piece of equipment on the ISS that we probably don't know about? Over.
I think an interesting piece of equipment you probably don't know about is a way for us to weigh our mass. So we are weightless up here, but we do have a piece of equipment that can measure our mass. Over.
Do you ever doubt whether you can become an astronaut? Over.
Absolutely. I think doubt is just a very human thing to have, but it's also really, really important to have a lot of confidence. Over.
What is the first thing you will do when you get back on the ground? Over.
No, I'm really looking forward to running water, so I think the first thing I'll do is take a shower. Over. I first felt like a real astronaut the first time I got in the spacesuit in our giant pool at the NASA Johnson Space Center.
After returning to Earth, what do you think you will miss the most about being in space? Over.
Oh, it's a good question. That is easily flying. Flying never gets old. Over.
Has being in space changed how you feel about Earth and how small we are as humans? Over.
It has. Just the beauty and the scale of the Earth and watching the oceans, it's incredible. And it makes me just appreciate how fragile our planet is.
What controls and buttons are really important on the ISS? Over.
Ooh, there's a lot of controls and buttons. A lot of them are virtual buttons, so they're controlled through the computer. We can control anything from turning lights on and off to actually adjusting the solar rays.
How do you maintain a consistent sleep schedule with more than one sunrise each day? Over.
It's a great question. There's 16 sunrises a day for us, but we determine most of our circadian rhythm by the internal LED lights we have. Over.
If you could give a message to your high school self, what would it be? Over.
I would say to my high school self that the harder path is often the better path. Over.
KK6 OAK.
It's space scary. Over.
I think the concept of space can be really, really scary, but we do amazing work up here and we're with our friends, so it's not scary on a day-to-day basis. Over.
What do you specialize in and how does this help you become an astronaut? Over.
I studied math and medicine, but I think it's actually learning how to work as a teammate that was the most important part about being an astronaut. Over.
What experiments are you assisting with on the ISS? Over.
We're doing everything from material science to actually studying ourselves. We are one of the biggest science experiments on the space station. Over.
Why does the ISS have over 50 computers? Over.
That's a lot of computers. You know, every project, every payload, every crew member up here has their own computers, and when you add them all up, it's just a lot of computers. Over.
When do your passion start for space? Over.
I've always been intrigued as a kid of the Apollo missions, but it wasn't until an adult when I saw the first Orion mission around 2014 launched to space that inspired me to be an astronaut. Over.
Did you bring anything to the ISS? And if so, what did you bring? Over.
I brought photos of my friends and my family, and each of my kids gave me something that they really love. I got some coins and some stuffed animals for them. Over.
What do you do if there's a medical emergency on board? Over.
So we're all trained in basic first aid care. I happen to be a medical doctor, and we also have a full-time staff of doctors and surgeons at NASA waiting for us if we ever need a call for help. Over.
When you look down on Earth, what do you feel? Over.
I feel an immense amount of pride in just our species, humanity, that we were able to create something so beautiful and intricate that orbits the Earth. Over.
What is the hardest thing to do in zero gravity that you can do on Earth without thinking? Over.
It's a great question. I love not having gravity. I love to fly, but it makes some things really, really hard. For example, ever tried to take things out of a box or put things in a box? Without gravity, everything just floats. It makes it really hard. Over.
What other awesome things can you tell us about what you do in space? Over.
Well, aside from all the experiments and the great view, I'd like to express that a lot of us up here were really good friends, so this happens to be, it feels like a really long camping trip. Over.
Do you have a favorite part of Earth that you like to look at if you have them? Over.
Well, right now I'd have to say that's Houston because that's where my family is. Over.
What's the coolest thing you've seen while up on the ISS? Over.
Ooh. You know, playing with food and watching how water reacts in space is still one of the coolest things I've seen since I've been up here. Over.
What happens if you sneeze on a spacewalk? Over.
Ooh. I think that the inside of your visor is going to be quite dirty. Over.
How did you feel on this spacewalk?
I'll let you know when I hopefully get to do one. I haven't done one yet, but there's a real one coming up in just about a week where two of my friends will be going outside to do a spacewalk. Over.
All of us here at Oakwood School are just so incredibly excited to be able to talk with you, and we thank you so very much for the time that you've given us today and all of these great answers. Thank you so much, Dr. Kim. We're so excited for you being there up on the International Space Station.
Thank you, Oakwood High School. I really enjoyed it, and I appreciate the talk with the International Space Station. Goodbye.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Kim. This is Kilo 6 Oscar Alpha Kilo clear.
NA1SS out.